Hello guys, welcome back. A new fanfic. If interesting, please like and share. Let's start fanfic. Within an endless void stood a woman. The woman possessed a regal beauty, having long flowing white hair going past her feet, pale skin, her eyebrows cut low and round, a symbol of nobility, red lipstick, clear white eyes, a slit on the center of her forehead, wearing a high-collared harem kimono which has tomos running down the center and edges of the gown adorned with intricate gold and purple lines. The most noticeable feature were the two horns sprouting from her head. This woman is Kaguya Satsuki, the progenitor of Chakra, rabbit goddess and mother of the Sage of Six Paths. Currently Kaguya was watching as one of the fragments of her power, the Kyubi no Kitsune, Katsumi she believed her name was, attacked the village Konohagakure, a village founded by the previous transmigrants of her grandsons Indra and Asura. Despite being sealed within the moon by her traitorous sons, Hagoromo and Hamura, she was still able to view the events happening in the elemental countries. It made Kaguya want to laugh at Hagoromo's face, the people he had so much faith in turning his precious ninshu into weapons of war, and sealing the tailed beasts away. But it also angered her that these lowly humans still have access to her chakra. It should never have been given to them, as the reason was for her clan to not find her and kill her for betraying a member when she only wanted to start fresh in peace. Are you watching, my foolish son, because I can sense your consciousness and chakra lingering, watching how these people use the power you gave them to lie, cheat, steal, and kill each other, imprisoning your own creations. You could have lived long but chose to die as a lowly human. Kaguya thought to herself. Just then, Kaguya saw a blonde man and red-haired woman appear on the battlefield with three infant boys. From what Kaguya's seen, the man was Minato Namikaze, the Yondaime Hokage, and the woman was Kushina Uzumaki, the Red Death, while the three babies were their newborn sons Arashi, Menma and Naruto. So, that's Asura's newest transmigrant. Kaguya thought, focusing on baby Naruto. Kaguya watched as Minato summoned the Shinigami to seal Katsumi's yin and yang chakra within Arashi and Menma respectively, while sealing the soul inside Naruto, before surprisingly the Shinigami let the man live rather than take his soul. Now interested, Kaguya watched as the family returned to Konoha, where Minato announced his sons Arashi and Menma as heroes for containing the Kyubi's chakra, everyone cheering for the newly titled twin princes of Konoha. It made Kaguya shake her head, and her sons wondered why she kept most of the humans imprisoned in the infinite Tsukuyomi. As the villagers celebrated their new heroes, the Namikaze family returned to the Hokage's office, meeting with Tsunade Senju, a member of the Senju clan, Asura's descendants, and Jiraiya of the Sannin, the latter of whom made Kaguya growl, glaring at the man. After being trapped within the moon, Kaguya eventually learned it was the Grand Toad Sage Gamamaru who told her sons of the humans she kept imprisoned in the infinite Tsukuyomi. Since then she's had a burning hatred for all toads and anyone who summons them, swearing once she was free that she'd hunt down and slaughter those worthless creatures and their summoners by taking their chakra one by one. Kaguya watched and listened as Jiraiya told the new parents of a prophecy he received from the toads, of a child who bring peace to the elemental countries, making Kaguya groan in resignation when they all instantly decided Menma or Arashi was the prophecy child. Yes, because interpreting a prophecy is always smart. Kaguya thought sarcastically before frowning, changing the view where she saw Naruto in a room alone. They basically forgot their third son, instead focusing on the other two. While Kaguya would admit she wasn't the best mother, hardly even seeing her sons due to the paranoia of her clan coming for her, she at least never favored one over the other and treating them the same amount of attention. So, to see two parents, people who preached about the bonds of family and friends, to ignore one of their own children just because of some prophecy told by a senile old toad with one foot in the grave, was truly sickening. And people called me the demon. Kaguya thought. Though maybe this could be used to her advantage. Changing the image again, this time to a clan compound, specifically the Uchiha clan, Indra's descendants. Going to a specific room, Kaguya saw a sleeping baby girl, Satsuki Uchiha, the newborn daughter of the clan head, and Indra's newest transmigrant. Yes, this could work out wonderfully. Thought Kaguya, smirking, activating her Byakugan. A little known fact about the Byakugan, well hers at least, was it truly lived up to its name of the all-seeing eye. After her imprisonment, Kaguya discovered another power of her eyes. They could show her glimpses of the past, present, future, and possible futures. It's how she knew what would happen after being sealed away. Hagoromo's Ninshu, sharing chakra blindly, his sons turning against each other, all of it. Kaguya also saw Zetsu's plan to revive her, a plan so convoluted she wondered if he even considered all the things that could go wrong with it, because he only cared about himself, as shown by him causing chaos behind the scene like the typical Otsutsuki clan member, destroying life without thinking of the consequences whatsoever. This is why she hates her childish clan, boasting the fact of having incredible power by destroying planets and calling themselves so-called gods, who lord over any lesser species, that when they are on the losing end of a fight they throw a temper tantrum worthy of an angry toddler and then start whining and repeat their previous actions. But now she'll make her own plans, ones that will have revived in a matter of a few years rather than the centuries Zetsu's plan is taking. Yes, soon I shall return, and all will fear me, and rejoice. Kaguya thought. Timeskip 9 years Konoha. Well done, Menma. Arashi, you're coming along nicely, you'll be as strong as your old man in no time. Minato congratulated his sons who stood on a branch. Hey, don't forget me, Minato, they'll be badass just like their Ka-chan. Shouted Kushina, crossing her arms, Minato chuckling sheepishly. Please, we won't be strong as you two, we're going the strongest in the world, right, Ni-san? Said Menma, smirking, looking to his brother. Oh yeah, no one will be strongest than us. Arashi agreed, as both parents smiled at their children. Unknown to the family, they were being watched by someone, another boy looking at the family with cold, detached eyes from his perch in a tree. The boy was Naruto Uzumaki, Minato and Kushina's third son, and Arashi and Menma's younger brother, or as the latter two refer to him, their personal punching bag. Naruto sneered at his brother's egos were inflated further. Like most male Uchiha gaining their Sharingan, they managed to master tree walking. Big deal, Naruto had already mastered it when he was 6, did anyone praise him for it? No, because in the minds of his family and the rest of the village he was a talentless weakling, who would never compare to his brothers, with Menma and Arashi feeling the need to remind him of the fact every day. What no one but 2 other people knew, was that Naruto was stronger than he let on. While his brothers were trained by their parents, Naruto trained on his own and occasionally with his best friend, preferring it that way as then he could keep his skills a secret. It also wouldn't do no good for the villagers to hate him more. See, while Naruto's brothers were seen as heroes for containing the Kyuubi's chakra, Naruto was seen as the Kyuubi itself for containing the soul. For the first 5 years of his life, Naruto had to live in fear of the villagers, constantly looking over his shoulder. Not that it helped, as they always seemed to find him, and that's when the beatings began. Naruto lost count of how many times he was beaten to near death, then having to drag his broken body back home. He tried telling his parents what was happening, but they didn't believe him even when they saw him covered in his own blood. To his parents he was just a troublemaker that pranks people and gets in trouble, when really, it's Menma and Arashi that are the troublemakers who blame Naruto. He remembered when they were 4, Naruto had drawn a picture of the entire family and planned to show his parents in hope of them praising him for something. Though, he had gone to get some water, and when he came back he saw Arashi showing their parents the drawing, saying he made it for them. When Naruto said he was a liar and that the picture was his parents yelled at him for trying to take credit for his brother's hard work, and sent him to his room. That was the day Naruto began to resent his family. Another incident happened when they were 5. Menma had been running in the house, bumping into a standing holding their mother's favorite vase, knocking it down, breaking it. When Kushina saw it, Menma blamed Naruto, even though he wasn't even home at the time, too busy running from a mob, since the people of the world hated more the Kyuubi than the other tailed beasts, since is by far the only one so far who can actually use natural energy instantly. sense emotions, uses its cunning and is the strongest at full power, can beat the other 8 without breaking a sweat. When he got home, Kushina yelled at him for what Menma did, sending him to his room telling him not come out until the next day. When Naruto tried arguing that he didn't do it, his mother mad actually hit him. Flashback. Naruto stared at his mother in shock, holding his face when her hand had connected, still processing that she had just hit him. Even if Naruto, who is half Uzumaki by genetics, he still follows the Uzumaki clan's creed by heart, family above all. As an Uzumaki would do anything to defend and protect their family even with their own life, and neglecting one is like treason. Don't talk back to your Ka-san, now go to your room and don't think to come down. Shouted Kushina, glaring at Naruto. She hit me, she actually hit me. Naruto thought briefly that his parent had yelled at him before but never actually hit him. Naruto's eyes soon went icy cold, and his face going blank. Yes, Ka-sama, Naruto said coldly, startling Kushina a little. Walking up the stairs, Naruto caught sight of Menma smirking smugly at him, making him narrow his eyes. Enjoy while you can, dear brother, but one day I will have you at my feet begging for mercy. Mercy that I won't give. Naruto thought darkly as his eyes turned red with black sclera. End flashback. Since then, Naruto has only ever talked to his parents when he needed to, only saying the bare minimum, and referring to them as Ka-sama and To-sama, even though he's long stopped considering them his parents. It was also after that Naruto began training on his own, refusing to even try asking his parents to train him as well. He had become colder to everyone, except 2 people, no longer caring about the villagers' opinion of him or earning his family's affection. It was another thing that set him apart from his brothers. While Arashi and Menma were loud and brash, preferring to be the center of attention, wearing bright clothes, Naruto was cold, aloof, and stayed in the shadows, wearing dark clothing. The 3 boys were also different in not just attitude but appearance. While Menma was a carbon copy of Minato with spiky blonde hair and blue eyes, Arashi had red hair like Kushina and lighter blue eyes. Naruto, on the other hand, had spiky black hair and dark blue eyes that bordered on black. His hair used to be blonde, but he dyes it black, wanting to distance himself from his family. The only thing the 3 had in common were their whisker marks. Suddenly Naruto heard footsteps approaching. Looking, Naruto smiled warmly at the person, a 6-year-old girl, with long crimson red hair tied in pigtails and bright purple eyes, wearing a white sundress. The girl looked a little before spotting Naruto in the tree, smiling brightly. Ni-san, the girl shouted. Jumping down from his perch, Naruto landed in front of the girl, who instantly wrapped her arms around him. Hey there, Rumi-chan, Naruto said, rubbing the girl's head. This was Narumi Namikaze, Naruto's little sister, along with one of the 2 people he cares about. When Naruto had first learned he was going to have another sibling, he was angry, thinking he was once again going to be passed off. But when he first laid eyes on Narumi, this small tiny little thing, any anger he would have had for her faded away, and he swore that no matter what he would always be there for his precious Imouto. Can we go play, Ni-san? Asked Narumi, tilting her head cutely, though Naruto smiled sadly. Sorry, Rumi-chan, I have to go meet Satsuki soon, Naruto said, Narumi looking down sadly. Narumi then yelped, feeling Naruto poke her forehead, smiling at her. Maybe next time, Narumi-chan, said Naruto, Narumi nodding before hugging Naruto again. Happy birthday, Ni-san, Narumi said before running off. Oh right, it's my birthday, Naruto thought. It was his, Arashi, and Menma's 10th birthday, meaning he had to get gone soon, as this night was always guaranteed that he'll be attacked by a mob, and he just didn't want to be around sheep kissing his brothers. Later, Naruto sat in a clearing behind the Hokage monument looking up at the full moon. Soon he heard the bushes rustling. Looking, Naruto saw a girl his age coming out, brushing and stray leaves off. The girl had long waist-length black hair with a blue tint, onyx-colored eyes, pale skin, wearing white shorts, a navy blue high-collared shirt with the Uchiha symbol on the back, and blue kunoichi sandals. Satsuki-chan. Naruto greeted, giving a two-finger salute. Oh, you're here already, sorry if I kept you waiting, said Satsuki, Naruto waving it off. It's fine, I haven't been waiting that long. Naruto replied, a small smile as he looked at the girl. Satsuki Uchiha, Naruto's first and best friend. They had met each other 3 years ago, when she had caught him training alone. After that, they always trained with each other whenever they could, Satsuki even inviting him over to her home a few times. Her mother Makoto was a nice woman, always asking him how he was and even supervising his and Satsuki's training. Naruto would even say she was more of a mother to him than Kushina ever was. Her father Fugaku was fine, but Naruto sensed his emotions that included mostly disappointment and regret, even if he doesn't show it, while her brother Itachi was alright, if a tad creepy, along with Naruto not really trusting him considering he was in Anbu and reported to Minato. Though 2 years later, a tragedy struck, the entire Uchiha clan, besides Satsuki, was massacred by Itachi. Something was suspicious about the massacre, that how only one person could kill the majority of the clan even with their guard down on one night. Not even Itachi could have killed the police force that some were twice his age, and how could the Hokage and the elders would accept it when there were more peaceful options to avoid a coup? Even Danzo would have kidnapped the children to turn them into his emotionless root nins. After that, Satsuki shut out everyone, except Naruto, who refused to leave her side the entire time. Though she didn't show it, Satsuki was grateful for Naruto staying by her side. It also didn't help that everyone began treating her the same as Naruto's brothers, only she had it worst, being a girl, with several people trying to get control of her, being the heiress of the Uchiha clan, and even some people on the council wanting to turn her into breeding stock to repopulate the Uchiha clan. She'd sooner go rogue than let that happen. Besides, she's only interested in one guy, Satsuki idly thought, glancing at Naruto. Sitting beside Naruto, they both looked up at the moon, nothing needing to be said. So, how are they? Asked Satsuki after a while. The same, I heard the pervert and the hag were going to let them sign the toad and slug contracts. Naruto responded, Satsuki nodding, aware of Naruto's less than stellar relationship with his family. Just then they both noticed something strange. Naruto-kun, is it just me or is the moon turning red? Satsuki said. No, I see it too, said Naruto, suddenly feeling drowsy. Oh, good eye, though it was just me. Satsuki trailed off before she and Naruto fell asleep. While the full moon took on a completely red appearance with black concentric rings and 9 tomos, 3 in each ring. Moon. Opening his eyes, Naruto groaned, rubbing his head, looking around, frowning, seeing he wasn't back where he was. It was in a large forest clearing, and it was daytime. His eyes then fell Satsuki waking up a short distance away. Wah! What just happened? Where are we? Satsuki said. I don't know, said Naruto, just as confused. I believe I can answer that, a female voice said, making Naruto and Satsuki whirl around to the source. They saw the person approaching them was Kaguya. Who are you and where are we? Demanded Naruto, moving in front of Satsuki. Well, that's rude making demands, but if you must know, I am Kaguya Otsutsuki. As to where you are, this is the moon. Or at least the inside of the moon, my prison. Kaguya said, getting skeptical looks from both children. Okay, then why are we here? Satsuki questioned, Kaguya walking around. That would be my doing. You see, I've watched you both, Naruto Uzumaki and Satsuki Uchiha, from the moments of your birth. You both have faced many hardships, Naruto being neglected by your family in favor of your brothers who treat you as less than dirt, and you Satsuki, who has lost your entire family to your own brother and seen as nothing but a tool by people who seek to take advantage of you. Kaguya said, shocking both of them at how much she knew. Well, if you know all that, but you still haven't told us why we're here, said Naruto. To tell you that, I'd have to start at the beginning, from when I first arrived on this planet, began Kaguya. Kaguya then proceeded to tell Naruto and Satsuki everything that happened from when she first landed on the planet with Ashiki, betrayed him, devouring the Shinju fruit, her sons, merging with the Shinju, everything she witnessed from her prison, Indra and Asura's endless conflict and transmigrants, all the way up to the Kyuubi attack. When she finished, Naruto summed up both their thoughts. No offense, but your son is a dumbass. Naruto deadpanned. Who gives people power to basically do anything, and not expect them to use it to kill each other better? Hagoromo basically everyone weapons and told them not to kill each other with them. Naruto said. Kaguya smiled at that, not taking any offense, knowing it's true her sons were both naive in their thinking. None taken. I know my son was foolish to give humanity chakra, he thought it would help bring peace, when really he helped set the seeds of war. A path his sons, my grandsons, followed, that also brings me to why I wanted to speak with you both, and you see you two are the newest transmigrants of Asura and Indra. Kaguya revealed, surprising them both. You mean to tell us, we have your grandsons inside us? Satsuki said, not at all pleased to learn some guy's soul was inside her. Yes and no, since you only have their chakras, because if you were actually them you would have stopped fighting long ago. Responded Kaguya. Then how come we don't act like them? From what you've told us, all of Asura's transmigrants wanted to bring peace, while Indra's wanted rule, and they all hated each other. Naruto questioned. You can thank me for that. You see, while I am trapped here, I can still influence certain things, such as channeling small portions of my chakra into you both throughout your lives, suppressing both Indra and Asura. If I had not done this, you Naruto would have been a forgiving fool who forgave every bad thing done to you and obsessed with peace, while you Satsuki a revenge-driven person only caring about completing your own goals and gaining more power. Said Kaguya, both grimacing at the mental images conjured while looking at their dominant arms. Well, thanks for that, but you still haven't told us the reason you wanted to meet us. Said Naruto. I'm getting to that. You see, I have watched as my world has been torn apart all because of my son's foolish decisions, and I'm tired of it, and seeing my chakra used by those unworthy. What I want is for you both to join me, free me, and help reclaim all my chakra. In exchange, you both shall be allowed to keep your chakra. I will also awaken both Indra and Asura's dormant powers within you, along with removing any influence they could have over you both. In addition, I can make you two into pure-blooded Otsutsuki like me as well. Think about it, you both would finally be the ones with the power, and make those who mocked you or seek to use you pay in the worst way possible, taking away their power. Even gaining immortality is a bonus. Kaguya said. Both thought about it. Naruto picturing his family defeated at his feet, powerless without their chakra, crushing everyone in Konoha, while Satsuki imagined being even closer to finally killing Itachi and avenging her clan. Especially to never die under normal circumstances and to start fresh at the same time. Narumi gets to keep her chakra. Said Naruto, refusing to hurt his sister in any way. Done. Kaguya agreed. You'll evolve my Sharingan into the Mangekyo. Satsuki added, not willing to risk killing or seeing Naruto dying to awaken the Mangekyo, especially since it would have led her to blindness. Of course. Said Kaguya. And we will be equals in this. We won't be anyone's servants or underlings. Said Naruto. Yes. So, do we have an agreement? Kaguya said. Naruto and Satsuki looked at each other, nodding. Good. Now hold out your dominant arms. Said Kaguya. Doing so, Naruto held up his right while Satsuki held up her left. Grabbing both their hands, Naruto and Satsuki felt power surging through them, while also feeling something being erased, Asura and Indra. Then as quickly as it came, it stopped. I have awakened your powers. You Satsuki now have access to your Mangekyo Sharingan, despite that you already unlocked it, and like Indra you will not have to worry of going blind from overuse, and possess the 6 paths yin power. You Naruto will be able to access 6 paths Sage Mode, the wood-style Kekkei Genkai, and the 6 paths yang power. Kaguya explained. Naruto and Satsuki awed at the new power they now have. What now? asked Naruto, eager to test his new powers. Now we talk with your tenant Naruto, Kaguya said as the surroundings changed to a sewer with a giant cage. Behind the cage were two giant blood-red eyes looking down at the three people. Naruto and Satsuki both knew this was the Kyuubi's soul, Naruto having always known and having told Satsuki. Hello Katsumi, Kaguya said to the tailed beast that holds half of the Jubi's power. Katsumi stepped out of the shadows showing her full glory, though being noticeably smaller and malnourished due to losing all her chakra, before shrinking down transforming into a teenage girl. The girl had long crimson red hair that went to her hips, matching red eyes, a curvaceous figure that was enhanced by the tight-fitting black robes with a cape that extends to the floor she was wearing, matching thigh-high length boots, and fingerless black gloves that extend to just below her elbows. Kaguya, Katsumi growled. Now is that any way to talk to your Ka-san? Kaguya said mockingly, much to Naruto and Satsuki's surprise. Don't flatter yourself, you psychotic bitch, scoffed Katsumi, turning away. Oh, pity, and here I was going to offer to restore your chakra, but if you don't want to listen then I'll just reabsorb you. Kaguya stepping forward, Katsumi now shaking her head fearfully. Wait. Let's not do anything rash, I'll hear you out, alright, said Katsumi, not wanting to be absorbed back into Kaguya. She never wanted to become part of the Jubi again, she enjoyed being alive, aside from being sealed away 3 times and controlled twice. Good girl. Now my offer is that I'll restore you to full power, free you from the seal, and make it so you can never be sealed again. In exchange you will stay with Naruto and Satsuki to help them in my resurrection. Kaguya said, Katsumi narrowing her eyes. And what about my siblings? Questioned Katsumi. While they may not always get along, they're still family, even if she was arrogant due to boasting about having more tails means more powerful, but they are the only family she has left. They will be sealed within the demonic statue of the outer path, to become part of me once again. Kaguya said as if it was obvious. No way. Unless you agree to leave them alone, I'm not helping. Katsumi said, Kaguya feeling her eye twitch. Fine. I will make a compromise as I'll take the majority of your siblings' chakra, leaving behind small portions so they may replenish it over time, letting them live. Said Kaguya, since all she really needed was the tailed beast's chakra, not their souls. Katsumi nodded reluctantly. It was better than all of them simply becoming the Jubi again. And what about me? Am I just supposed to hand over my chakra after I get it back? Katsumi said, Kaguya raising a delicate brow. I never said I'd get you your chakra back, I said I'd restore it. The chakra sealed in those 2 fools will be absorbed into the statue. Said Kaguya, Katsumi nodding slowly, thinking it's better than just losing her chakra again, even if she blames herself in secret due to her arrogance and pride. Though still, the old man did everything he could to seal Kaguya away. Could she really turn her back on the man who created her, her own father? Kaguya noticed Katsumi's hesitant, and knew it was due to her loyalty to her son, but Kaguya knew how to break that loyalty. If you're worried about betraying my son, tell me, would it not be fair after all the times he betrayed you and the other tailed beasts? Said Kaguya, Katsumi growling at her, wishing she wasn't locked behind the cage. The old man never betrayed us, he's the one who freed us from you and the Jubi. Katsumi growled. Really, are you sure his intentions were pure? That you didn't trade one cage for another? Countered Kaguya. Think about it, Katsumi. Hagoromo kept the Jubi sealed inside him until the end of his life, after he had already given everyone chakra, after both Asura and Indra were grown men strong enough with the 2 abilities to control the tailed beasts, the Sharingan and Wood style. Now look at you, all trapped and treated as nothing but objects and weapons, all by the same people Hagoromo saw fit to give chakra to. Then there's Indra and Asura. I believe you knew their previous transmigrants Madara Uchiha and Hashirama Senju. Madara treated you as his pet while controlling you with his eyes, while Hashirama captured you and your siblings, selling you off to the other villagers and then having his wife seal you away, then Indra's other descendant who controlled you a second. Now tell me, if that is not betrayal, then what is? You know what else? That he has been watching us the entire time and did nothing to help because he chose to die as a human when Satsuki, even a half-breed, can live for centuries like you and your siblings, Katsumi. Kaguya said, as Katsumi fell to her knees clutching her head. Stop. Please just stop. Katsumi said pleadingly. As much as she wanted to deny it, everything Kaguya said made sense. Hagoromo could have found a way to prevent them from being sealed away, but instead he taught humans how to use chakra before releasing them, then his sons having the power to control them, and their transmigrants controlling them and turning them into weapons. Kaguya entered the cage kneeling down, putting her hands on Katsumi's shoulders. Join us, Katsumi, and none of the tailed beasts will ever have to fear being sealed away again or controlled. They will be free, no one will have chakra to use against you ever again. Said Kaguya. Katsumi nodded, looking. Yes, I'll help free you, Kaguya, though one more thing, the masked man who controlled me, I get to kill him. Said Katsumi. Get in line, sweetheart, if anyone's ripping that bastard apart it's going to be me. Said Naruto, reminding them of his and Satsuki's presence. Both of you, when the times come, will be able to take revenge on the masked fool. But for now, I will restore you to your full power, Katsumi. Kaguya said, channeling her chakra into Katsumi. Instantly Katsumi felt her power returning, making her grin viciously at being back to full power. While the seal keeping her locked away melted away. It's done, you're now free and all your chakra has been restored. Said Kaguya, standing up. So, what do we do now? Asked Satsuki, crossing her arms. Now, you return to your bodies and train in your new powers, collect the tailed beast chakra, and it has to be willingly, just in case, seal it within the demonic statue, then we will achieve our plan to stripping humans of chakra. Kaguya said, as Naruto and Satsuki began fading, showing they were returning to consciousness. Also, don't tell anyone about this meeting or your new powers to no one. Said Kaguya seriously, knowing the wrong people would eventually find out. Nodding, both Naruto and Satsuki faded away. While in the shadows, two pair of red eyes with black sclera watched Kaguya, but the minute she sensed it, disappeared into the shadows. Maybe staying inside Naruto is better than being inside the moon. Kaguya said, smirking. Real world. Opening his eyes, Naruto sat up, finding him and Satsuki back in the clearing. Was it just a dream? Naruto wondered. I wouldn't too sure about that. Said Satsuki, looking at her hand. Why is that? Questioned Naruto. In response, Satsuki showed him her left palm, where a black crescent moon was located, along with channeling chakra into her eyes, activating her Sharingan, which had 3 tomos, before it evolved into 3 intersecting ellipses. Shocked, Naruto looked at his right hand, seeing a white sun symbol. I wonder. Naruto thought, remembering Kaguya said she awakened the wood style in him. Placing his hand on the ground, Naruto channeled chakra through it, causing several flowers to grow. Okay, now that's cool. Said Naruto with a smirk. He wished he could rub it in his family's faces that he has the bloodline of the Shadaime Hokage, before using it to lock Arashi and Menma in a cage. But knew he couldn't unless wanted to answer questions he'd rather not. Don't get a swelled head, boy. A female voice, getting both their attention. Looking, they saw a fox kit sitting nearby, a fox with red eyes. Katsumi. Naruto said, Katsumi rolling her eyes. Who else would it be? Yes, it's me, boy. Said Katsumi, jumping on Naruto's shoulder. Don't get any ideas, boy, I just prefer you to the Uchiha until you prove yourself to gain my trust. Katsumi said, growling at Satsuki. She didn't care if she was friends with the boy, she's been controlled by 2 Uchiha before and she'll be damned if a third time happens. So, I guess now we train in our new powers. Said Satsuki. Yeah, I just wish I could show Arashi and Menma, just to see the fear in their eyes when they see I have the power now. Naruto said, a sadistic gleam in his dark blue eyes. Well, try to control yourself, you'll get your chance eventually, for now just be patient. Satsuki said, Naruto nodding reluctantly. Fine, Though we should probably get going. Though tomorrow we'll start training. Said Naruto, Satsuki nodding in agreement. No one in the elemental countries could be aware of the consequences of what happened that night. For that one meeting marked the beginning of the end. The end of the shinobi era. 4 years have passed since Naruto and Satsuki's meeting with Kaguya, since they have trained in secret to master their new abilities. For Satsuki it was easy as she had access to the Uchiha clan's jutsu library, along with the scrolls on the Mangekyo Sharingan to learn what abilities it granted her. Though she could only get so far with scrolls and the only people she knew who awakened the Mangekyo were her cousin Shisui Uchiha and her brother Itachi, the former of whom was dead while the latter Satsuki intended to kill. It didn't help that while she wouldn't go blind from overuse of her Mangekyo, it still put a strain on her eyes that temporarily rendered her disoriented. Naruto meanwhile had it harder as he couldn't risk going to his own family's jutsu library, along with it not having any scrolls on the wood style. Luckily that was easily solved by breaking into the Senju compound, with the only living Senju, Tsunade, not staying in the compound. But Naruto learned quickly before he could learn wood style, he first had to master water and earth style, the two elements that made up wood style. On top of training they also had to track down the other Jinchuriki and the demonic statue, which apparently was no longer in the moon, meaning someone possessing the Rinnegan managed to summon it. Now one would think with so much to do it'd take several years to even come close to learning to master all these abilities. If not for something Naruto learned during his escapade into the Senju compound, a handy little jutsu invented by the Nadaime Hokage. Shadow Clone Jutsu. A jutsu Tobirama created after witnessing his brother's wood clone jutsu. The jutsu itself creates physical copies of the user with each clone having an equal amount of chakra from the original. The clones are able to perform jutsu and fight, though one good hit will cause them to dispel. But what really had Naruto's attention was the Shadow Clone Jutsu's other ability: anything a clone learns, or experiences was transferred back to the original. So, if someone created a single clone and both the clone and original trained for an hour, then the clone dispels, the person would feel like they trained for 2 hours. With shadow clones, Naruto and Satsuki would be able to cut years' worth of training into only a few months. It took them a few hours before they could successfully perform the shadow clone jutsu, though while they could now create clones to assist in their training, they soon learned there was a limit to how many they could create. Naruto, already possessing large chakra pools thanks to his Uzumaki heritage, and held Katsumi as he could create over 1,000 clones, combined with the power Kaguya gave him, boosted that number to 2,500 clones. Satsuki, on the other hand, while having larger than average chakra pools, was only able to create 10 clones, while with the boost she got from Kaguya the amount went up to 50. So, every day Naruto and Satsuki both went to their training ground making as many shadow clones as possible and set them to work. For Naruto, he had 500 clones work on taijutsu, another 500 worked on chakra control, another 500 worked on calligraphy and fuinjutsu, another 500 worked on awakening the Six Paths Sage mode, 300 were assigned to begin mastering Naruto's 3 basic elements of water, earth, and wind, while the final 200 clones Naruto sent out into the elemental countries to locate the other Jinchuriki and the demonic statue. Satsuki meanwhile divides her clones in 5 groups of 10. The first group worked on increasing her chakra pools, the second worked on taijutsu, the third worked on refining the few jutsu she already knew, the fourth worked on mastering her 2 elements of fire and lightning, while the final 10 worked on mastering her Sharingan, as even though she has it fully unlocked didn't mean she knew how to use it. She knew Itachi had mastered the Sharingan to the point he could put someone in a genjutsu just by pointing at them. The real Naruto and Satsuki worked on increasing their strength, speed, and agility, as while the shadow clones transfer back everything they learn and experience that didn't include physical attributes. Once his clones had come far enough in fuinjutsu, Naruto places gravity seals on both himself and Satsuki, both set at 5 times gravity, so that when they came off they'd get a major speed boost, while increasing the seals by ×1 whenever they started getting used to them. Naruto also made progress in his 6 paths sage mode, being able to call on it, though he couldn't hold the cloak long as it put a strain on his body. While Satsuki made progress in Mangekyo abilities, having a special affinity for Amaterasu which she could shape and control in her own unique, blaze style, being able to shape the black flames in a variety of ways, whether as a shield, a weapon, usually a blade, or arrows, combining them with hers and Naruto's techniques. She could also summon Susanoo rib cage and an arm, but still had trouble fully manifesting it. Satsuki even managed to copy a jutsu from someone neither she nor Naruto particularly liked, Kakashi Hatake, Naruto because of being his father's student and Satsuki because the man shamelessly read smut in public and he had something that didn't belong. The jutsu she copied was one she very much enjoyed, the Chidori, an S-rank assassination jutsu that she has already made different variations for it. Even Naruto could learn the Chidori due to being a natural sensor and won't suffer from tunnel vision. Even Satsuki found out that she is also a sensor too. Though with Satsuki gaining her own signature jutsu with the Chidori, Naruto wanted one for himself and thus stole his father's Rasengan scroll, not only learning and mastering the Rasengan in a week but creating a stronger version he calls Spiraling Ring. He also added his wind affinity to the Rasengan, something Minato, Jiraiya, and Kakashi have never managed, thus creating his second original jutsu wind style, Rasenshuriken. Naruto even awoke his adamantine sealing chains during the time he saved Hinata from bullies from his torso and has also started to develop it to release from his limbs and to turn his own chakra into armor and weapons. Naruto himself particularly enjoyed showcasing his new strength during academy spars, brutally taking his opponents in sadistic glee. Given he's always been on the receiving end of the beatings, it was nice to be the beater for once. Especially when the parents of the children he brutalizes try seeking retribution only to be sent to the hospital. Satsuki had to intervene a few times before Naruto accidentally revealed too much about his skills. Being one of the only 3 people that can successfully calm him down, the other 2 being Narumi and Katsumi. Though while Naruto's love of battle could get out of hand, he could still keep his cool, which Satsuki was thankful for, not wanting Naruto's trigger-happy personality to interfere with their plans. Currently Naruto laid asleep in bed with Satsuki and Katsumi pressed against him, though as soon Naruto woke up. Opening his eyes, Naruto smiled at the red and black hair splayed across his chest. A year ago he and Satsuki finally came out to each other about their feelings, quickly followed by a heated makeout session. A few months later Katsumi revealed she had developed feelings for Naruto and both she and Satsuki had agreed to share him after much arguing with Naruto making sure they didn't kill each other. They've never gone farther than making out and some groping, wanting to wait until they're older before going any farther. Running his hands along their sides, eliciting moans from both beauties, Naruto would love nothing more than to stay where he was, but knew he and Satsuki had to get up for the graduation exam at the academy. As Naruto was concentrating, he vanished from where he is, appearing beside the bed. That was another of his techniques, Shunpo, a technique allowing him to teleport short distances instantaneously. It was like the Hiraishin but didn't require a marker. Heading to the bathroom, Naruto took a quick shower before getting dressed. His attire consisted of a sleeveless dark gray GI, a long-sleeved black undershirt with a turtleneck, a red sash, black pants, and white boots. Physically he looked the same in that he lacks the whisker marks due to Katsumi being freed from the seal, only standing taller and more muscular, his hair still colored black, only looking darker ever since meeting Kaguya, spiked up more with a single lock of hair hanging over the right side of his face. Heading into the kitchen, Naruto began cooking breakfast, knowing Satsuki and Katsumi will be up soon. A year after meeting Kaguya, Naruto had moved in with Satsuki in her apartment, which was big enough for all 3 of them. Only Narumi knew Naruto lived there, occasionally visiting her brother there. It hadn't really surprised Naruto, his family hadn't even noticed his absence, having long since accepted that they'll always care about Menma and Arashi because they held Katsumi's chakra. Naruto still looked forward to the day he gets to tear the chakra out of them all and having them powerless at his feet. Soon Naruto heard both Satsuki and Katsumi waking up, just in time as he finished. Looking, Naruto smirked at what they were wearing, or lack thereof. Satsuki had thrown on a shirt 2 sizes too small as it strained against her DS, while showing her lacy black panties and smooth pale legs. Katsumi meanwhile hadn't bothered putting a shirt on, wearing only matching crimson lace underwear. Katsumi, seeing Naruto staring, smirked, leaning forward, pushing her S up. "Like what you see, Naruto-kun," Katsumi purred. "Very," replied Naruto, as Satsuki smiled, wrapping her arms around Naruto's neck, pecking him on the lips. "Yes, well, just a few more years, then you'll get see what's underneath," Satsuki whispered in his ear. As much as I'd love to continue, we still have to get to the academy," reminded Naruto. Satsuki groaned at the reminder. 4 years stuck in the academy, surrounded by fangirls who only cared about finding Prince Charming to save them, and boys that had fantasies of what being a shinobi. The worst part for Satsuki were the fanboys, though. She lost count of how many times she had to resist using Amaterasu on them. The two worst were Arashi and Menma, both believing she belonged to them. The only thing stopping her from killing them was that Naruto already called dibs on ending their lives, which he was finding more tempting each day he saw either of them go near Satsuki. "Hey, you think I wanna be surrounded by annoying brats that think being a ninja means rescuing princesses and saving the world? I don't, but look at this way, after today we're one step closer to never seeing this village again," said Naruto. Satsuki nodded before going to dress. Her attire consisted of a dark gray jacket with violet lining and dark blue edging. Unzipped halfway to show a dark blue crop top, the coat has darker gray short sleeves, a thick collar that completely encircles her neck, and 2 long dark blue trimmed rectangular tails which are detachable. Form-fitting black pants. Around her hips and over the tails of her coat is a gray belt, which has 2 pieces of dark gray material trimmed in blue attached to it. The first covers from her left hip to the back of the belt and is folded over the belt, and the second is attached from the right hip and almost around to the other piece of material. Knee-high black boots with metal caps on the heel and toe, with the heel cap attaching to a violet strap across the front of her ankle, and a gold zipper on the upper half of the front of the boots. A single small buckled strap is on the upper outside of her boots, and a purple bandana tied around her left knee. A pair of black fingerless gloves with long dark blue cuffs reaching to mid-forearm complete the outfit. Her waist-length hair was done up in a ponytail with her bangs curving to the left side of her face. In short, Naruto could die happy knowing he's seen this vision of beauty. With that, all three ate breakfast before heading to the academy, Katsumi transforming into her fox form and jumping on Naruto's shoulder. When they arrived, they took their seats at the back of the class, blocking out the noisy students. It wasn't long until the door opened again, and walking in like they owned the place was none other than Menma and Arashi, both wearing matching arrogant smirks. Naruto shook his head when he saw they were wearing blindingly bright blue and neon orange jumpsuits. The only thing missing was bright flashing signs saying, "Here I am, please kill me," above their heads. "I swear, how is Naruto-kun related to those idiots?" Naruto and Satsuki both thought. Though they were pulled from their thoughts when they heard what sounded like a stampede coming down the hall, making Satsuki groan. Soon the door was slammed open and 2 blurs, one pink and one blonde, burst into the room. "Ha, I win, forehead," shouted the blonde. "As if pig my foot went through the door first," the pink shouted. Bang. Naruto patted Satsuki comfortingly as she repeatedly banged her head on the desk. The reason being the 2 girls that just entered, Sakura Haruno and Ino Yamanaka, 2 of the worst fangirls for Arashi and Menma, and insults to real Kunoichi. Whenever Satsuki saw them, she would be reminded of when her mother would come home ranting about how fangirls are the reason real Kunoichi aren't taken seriously, and the injustice of them being allowed to become ninja. Safe to say Satsuki developed the same hatred. "No way I'm sitting with Arashi-kun and Menma-kun, Ino pig," screeched Sakura. Yeah, right, like they want that huge forehead blocking their view of me. Ino shouted. First chance, the first chance I get, those two will die. Satsuki thought, determination burning in her eyes to end the wretched fangirls. Eventually the sensei, Iruka Yumino, entered the classroom, with Naruto smirking dangerously. They used to have another teacher, Mizuki, shame that he had an unfortunate accident. Said accident being Naruto impaling him on a truth-seeking ball when he caught the Tem staring at Satsuki. Luckily, Naruto didn't have to worry about disposing of the body, as anything hit by the truth-seeking balls is reduced to ash. Alright, everyone, settle down, said Iruka, gaining a tick mark when no one listened. I said shut up, you little brats. Iruka shouted using his big head no jutsu. Instantly everyone quieted down, making Iruka nod. Alright, as you all know, the graduation exam is today. First is the written test, then the practical test where you'll show your mastery of the substitution, transformation, and clone jutsus. We will begin the written test now, said Iruka before passing out the tests. The test lasted an hour, with Naruto and Satsuki finishing at the same time, followed shortly by Sakura. Once the test was finished, Iruka collected the papers and started the practical test. When I call your name, come into the back room and demonstrate the 3 jutsu and receive your forehead protector if you pass. Shino Aburame, called Iruka, said boy going into the room, coming out shortly with a headband around his forehead. On it went Iruka, called students, some coming out with headbands, some not, looking down sadly at failing, a few even running out crying. Satsuki Uchiha, Iruka called. Good luck, said Naruto, smiling at her, which Satsuki returned. You too, Satsuki said, walking down the steps. Hope we're on the same team, Satsuki-chan, said Menma as he and Arashi leered at her figure, both sporting forehead protectors tied around their heads, sending shivers up her spine, and not the pleasurable ones Naruto gives her, the kind where she needs a shower. Naruto glared at his brothers, mentally counting to 1,000 to resist ripping their throat out, while Katsumi nuzzled his cheek to calm him down, Naruto nodding in thanks. Satsuki entered the room, seeing Iruka behind a table with multiple headbands and a clipboard in hand. Alright, Satsuki, perform the substitution, transformation, and finally create 3 clones. Iruka said. Crossing her arms, Satsuki wordlessly switched places with a chair and switched back. Next she transformed into her mother, Makoto Uchiha, in her kunoichi gear. Finally, she made a half-ram seal, creating 3 shadow clones. Iruka stared shock. Not only had she performed the substitution and transformation without hand seals, something not even Menma or Arashi could do, even trained by some of the strongest ninja in Konoha, but then demonstrated B-rank forbidden jutsu with ease. So, do I pass? Satsuki said rhetorically. Oh, why yes, of course, Satsuki, here's your headband, said Iruka, handing Satsuki a headband, missing the sneer she gave it before tying it loosely around her neck. Naruto Uzumaki, Iruka called once Satsuki exited the room. Naruto walked past Satsuki to the room, hearing Arashi say something. Good luck, Otuto, sneered Arashi. Naruto ignored the comment, angering his brothers, hoping to get a rise from him, knowing neither could touch him. Entering the room, Iruka told Naruto the same thing as the others. Once again, Iruka was shocked when Naruto performed the substitution and transformation without seals before making 3 shadow clones. Could Naruto and Satsuki have trained together? Iruka wondered, handing Naruto a headband that he tied around his left arm. Later, Naruto and Satsuki walked out of the academy after all the students had been tested. Moving there through the crowd of parents, either congratulating the children who passed or comforting the ones who failed. Though Naruto stopped short of the gate when he saw his parents congratulating Menma and Arashi for graduating. While Naruto no longer cares for earning the Namikaze family or the rest of their ilk's affection, he supposed now he just found them pathetic. Pathetic in that they're so focused on fulfilling some half-baked prophecy spoken by a senile toad about some miracle child that'd bring peace to the world. Hey, are you alright? Asked Satsuki, shaking him a little. Yeah, Just contemplating how delusional they all are. Naruto replied. Suddenly Naruto was tackled by a red blur nearly knocking him down. Ni-san. You passed. I knew you would. I just knew it. Cheered Narumi, as Naruto smiled patting his sister's back. Of course, I passed. Did you expect anything less? Naruto said. What about me Narumi-chan? I passed too. Said Satsuki, as Narumi let go of Naruto and hugged Satsuki. I knew you'd pass to Satsuki nay. Narumi said looking up grinning widely, which Satsuki returned. When Satsuki had first met the little girl she already knew she was hooked. Narumi was a breath of fresh air in a rather grim life. It helped that she now knew Naruto was good with children. After their first meeting, Narumi had taken to calling her Satsuki nei, which warmed the Uchiha's heart. Ni-san, now that you and Satsuki nei are ninja, does that mean you're going to be going on missions now? Asked Narumi as the 10-year-old jumped on Naruto's back, arms wrapped around his neck, Katsumi jumping on Naruto's head. Yep, but only after we're assigned a team, then we'll be going on missions. Answered Naruto. That means I won't get to see you as much anymore. Narumi muttered sadly. You know Narumi, me and Naruto were going to go out and celebrate graduating, would you like to come? Satsuki offered, making Narumi's face light up and nod rapidly. With that the four, including Katsumi still in disguise, left the academy. Next day asterisk. And back here again. Naruto thought, tapping on the desk, his eyes closed, while Satsuki leaned back bored. While they've both graduated, they now had to be put on a team with a third member under a Jonin instructor, which sadly mean they had to endure the academy for one last day. Katsumi had chosen to stay home rather than join them. Iruka had already showed up and begun listing off the different teams, now both were just waiting to see what team they were on. Team 7, Menma Namikaze, Arashi Namikaze, and Sakura Haruno under Kakashi Hatake. Said Iruka. Yeah, true love conquers all. In your face Ino pig. Shrieked Sakura, much to Naruto and Satsuki annoyance. Don't. Naruto whispered to Satsuki without opening his eyes. One word, that's all it'd take, and I'd have ended that howler monkey. Hissed Satsuki, her Mangekyo Sharingan already activated, ready to unleash black flames on the fangirl. As much as I'd love to see that, you do realize we'd be forced to make a quick escape for murder. So, just hold yourself back, and when the chance presents itself you can incinerate as many fangirls as you want. Said Naruto, Satsuki smiling sadistically at the thought. Team 13 Naruto Uzumaki, and Satsuki Uchiha under Kushina Uzumaki. Said Iruka. Naruto's eyes snap open. What? Growled Naruto, not expecting this. While he likes being on a team with Satsuki, his mother being his instructor though wasn't something he could tolerate. Now your senseis will be here soon, so for now relax and wait. And once congratulations on becoming ninja of Konoha. Said Iruka, leaving the classroom. It didn't take long before Kushina walked in with two other Jonin instructors. Team 8 with me, said the red-eyed woman. Team 10 with me, the man said. Team 13 meet me at training ground 13. Kushina said before shining away. Naruto and Satsuki followed in a shunpo and a lightning shunshin respectively, surprising Kushina that they knew how to teleport. Naruto, I didn't know you could use shunshin. Said Kushina looking at her son. Yeah, there's a lot about me you don't know. Naruto said with more bite than intended, making Kushina flinch a little. Anyway, let's start off by introducing each, your likes, dislikes, and hobbies. I'll start. My likes are ramen, pranking, training, and my family. Naruto scoffed at that. My dislikes are traitors, a certain masked tem, and boring people. My hobbies include training, pranking, and spending time with my family. Alright Naruto, you go next. Said Kushina. My likes are training, Satsuki-chan, Narumi-chan, and Katsumi-chan. My dislikes are a masked tem, weaklings, and two annoying pests. My hobbies include training, and spending time with Satsuki-chan, Katsumi-chan, and Narumi-chan. Said Naruto, Kushina nodding. Okay Satsuki, you next. Kushina said. My likes are the same as Naruto-kun's, my dislikes are a certain man, loudmouth losers, the color orange, and weaklings, my hobbies are training. Said Satsuki. Alright. Now then usually this is the part where I'd say you aren't really genin and you'd have to pass a secret test, and blah, blah, blah. That all sounds rather boring so instead, congratulations we're officially Team 13. Said Kushina, Satsuki sweat dropping while Naruto's eye twitched. This is the woman Ka-san told me was one of the deadliest kunoichi alive. Satsuki thought. I see where Menma and Arashi get their childish personality, does that mean they got their overinflated egos from Namikaze? Naruto wondered mentally. Alright Team 13, let's go get our first mission. Said Kushina, snapping them from their thoughts as all three walked to the Hokage's office. Timeskip 3 weeks. 3 weeks have passed since Naruto and Satsuki were put on Team 13 under Kushina. Since then they have done several missions. One thing both could be thankful of with Kushina as their sensei is that she absolutely refused to do D-rank missions, or as they called them, chores people are too lazy to do themselves. Seriously, they're ninja, trained to kill, not babysit children or walk dogs. So, they mostly did C-rank missions, usually escort or eliminating bandits, and when they weren't doing missions they had to train or spar with Kushina. Neither Naruto nor Satsuki enjoyed training with Kushina as it meant they had hold back from their full power, as to not reveal what they could really do. Currently they were heading to the Hokage's office to get another mission. After knocking, they entered seeing Minato with piles of paperwork on his desk. Ready for another mission Minato-kun. Said Kushina. Ah, Team 13, I was just about to call you anyway. Recently Team 7 has taken their first C-rank mission to the Land of Waves. Unfortunately the client lied about the mission's rank, though they chose to continue the mission. During the journey they ran into Zabuza Momochi. Kakashi was able to defeat him before a hunter nin showed up and took the body, but Kakashi believed it was Zabuza's accomplice and so has requested another team be sent as backup. So, Team 13, your mission to travel to the Land of Waves and assist Team 7 in protecting the bridge builder Tazuna. Ordered Minato. Hi, we'll head out immediately. Kushina said before turning to her students. Alright team, meet at the gates in an hour after packing all the supplies you'll need for this mission. Said Kushina, Naruto and Satsuki nodding before teleporting away to pack. However, Naruto made a quick stop at Anbu headquarters, sneaking into where they keep records of all the Anbu members and their completed missions. Let's see Anbu Weasel, where are, aha there you are. Thought Naruto, grabbing the file. Opening, Naruto flipped through the different reports before stopping on the last one, the last mission Anbu Weasel aka Itachi Uchiha took before going rogue. The elimination of the Uchiha clan. With each word Naruto's eyes widened further. The Uchiha clan were planning coup to take over the village, with Itachi acting as the Hokage's spy and eventually agreeing to be the one to eliminate the Uchiha clan, on the condition that Satsuki wasn't to be harmed. Itachi sacrificed everything to prevent Konoha from being plunged into a civil war, one that would very likely lead to the Fourth Shinobi War, and to protect his little sister. Naruto sealed the file away, knowing he'd have to show Satsuki, she deserved to know the real reason why her family was taken from her. Later gates. Naruto and Satsuki arrived at the gate seeing Kushina already waiting for them. Alright team, let's move out. Said Kushina. Instantly all three took off running towards Wave Country, Naruto and Satsuki sharing a look, nodding, knowing now was the perfect chance to enact their plan. Naruto and Satsuki looked around the Land of Waves, seeing the disrepair the town was in, with several people being on the streets. It's sad, isn't it? Seeing these people suffering like this because some tyrant. Kushina stated, Satsuki humming in thought with her arms crossed behind her back while Naruto remained silent. After a while, they arrived at the bridge builder Tazuna's house where Team 7 should be. Knocking on the door, the three waited a few moments before it was opened. A middle-aged woman. Yes. The woman asked. Hi, We're the backup team sent to assist Team 7. Kushina introduced, the woman gaining a look of realization. Oh, right, Kakashi did mention another team would be showing up. Please come in, I'm Tsunami, Tazuna's daughter. Tsunami said, stepping aside to let them. I'm Kushina Uzumaki, these are my students Satsuki Uchiha and my son Naruto Uzumaki. Said Kushina, Naruto scoffing when she called him her son. Let's get this over with. Naruto muttered, brushing past both Kushina and Tsunami. Entering the living room, Naruto saw Menma, Arashi, Sakura, and Kakashi sitting around. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Naruto commented, seeing the crutches next to Kakashi and Menma and Arashi looking a little worse for wear. His comment had their attention turned to him, his brothers and Sakura glaring at him, while Kakashi merely glanced at him before going back to his book. What are you doing here, loser? Demanded Menma, as Kushina and Satsuki entered. We're the team sent to assist you, Sochi. Said Kushina, the two scoffing and sneering at Naruto. Well, you'll be able to help Ka-san, but the loser will just get in the way. And don't worry, Tatsuki-chan, we'll protect you. Arashi said, shamelessly looking Satsuki up and down. Naruto bristled at them, blatantly eyeing his girlfriend. While he could care less about what they think of him, that didn't stop Naruto's anger at being looked down on by this pathetic weaklings that will only depend on Katsumi's old chakra. And yet you are the ones that needed another team to back you up. So much for the sons of the great Yondaime, guess all that training amount to nothing. Naruto taunted, Menma and Arashi's faces turning red at the insult. Naruto, stop antagonizing your brothers this instant. Kushina scolded. Glaring at her from the corner of his eye, Naruto turned on his heel and left the house, a worried Satsuki going after him, knowing nothing good would happen of Naruto going off on his own. Satsuki found Naruto in the forest, knocking trees down, throwing them into the air and destroying them. Throwing another one into the air, Naruto's hand was surrounded by purple chakra surrounded his right hand before a purple blade made of pure chakra shot out of his hand and impaled the tree, slicing through it. Though just as quickly the blade vanished and Naruto fell to his knees, gripping his now burned and shaking hand. You idiot! Satsuki said, running over to him. What were you thinking? You know you can't handle creating an energy blade like that as you are now. Satsuki admonished. I was thinking I've had to restrain myself for 4 years from just tearing those worthless insects apart. Naruto snarled with a murderous glare, one that actually made Satsuki flinch. She knew Naruto held nothing but hatred for his brothers. It was different than her hatred for Itachi. She once loved and looked up to Itachi, then he murdered their parents, particularly their mother Makoto, and massacred their clan, and any love or respect she had for her brother turned into a burning hatred and need for revenge. But for Naruto, he had always been second to his brothers and treated as a punching bag by them. There was never any sibling love between the three, only pure hatred. Satsuki wouldn't admit out loud, but she had always been terrified of what Naruto would become if his hatred consumed him with no one around to keep him in check. I don't think anyone would be able to stop him. Satsuki thought grimly. Looking at his hand, Naruto saw it was fully healed, but a few tremors still went through it. Clenching his fist, Naruto breathed deeply, willing it to stop. I'm good now, said Naruto, standing, but Satsuki stopped him and grabbed his hand. No, let me see. Satsuki said. I said I'm fine. Naruto was cut off when Satsuki looked at him warningly. You're lucky you can even still feel your hand. You know it's dangerous when you use the advanced version of the God Split Cut. Satsuki said as her hands gained a soft green glow. The God Split Cut is another of Naruto's original techniques, one that was pure shape transformation. The idea was to coat his hand in a field of chakra to act as a powerful blade. It took months for Naruto to get it down, and when he did, it was sharp enough to slice clean through a boulder. He even taught it to Satsuki to see if she could make her own improvements. But Naruto didn't stop there, wanting to create more powerful versions. So far he's only been able to create a blade of pure energy that was more powerful than the God Split Cut and used to keep his opponents at more of distance. He called it Violent Fierce God Slicer. Of course, whenever Naruto tries using it, he damages his hand and runs the risk of permanently damaging the nerves in his hand, only able to use it safely when using the aura he creates with his six-path sage mode. His body just can't handle the power, so Satsuki made him swear to use it as a last resort, at least until he can find a way to use without damaging his hand. Satsuki soon finished healing his hand. She had learned basic medical ninjutsu knowing it'd be good for one of them to learn it. There, you're luckily it wasn't anything permanent, Satsuki said. Naruto didn't say anything, merely looking at Satsuki intensely. Looking up, Satsuki locked eyes with Naruto. For several moments, both of them just looked at each other. After a few moments, Naruto raised his hand, grabbing a strand of Satsuki's hair that fell in front of her face and brushed it behind her ear. Satsuki said, a faint blush not used to Naruto doing anything like that. Before we left Konoha, I found something that you should know about, said Naruto suddenly while pulling out the file he took. Looking at the file, Satsuki felt a sense of dread wash over her when she saw it was Anbu Weasel's, her brother's Anbu name, mission file. Turning back to Naruto, Satsuki's feeling of dread wasn't helped when she saw his expression. Timeskip 5 days. Naruto blitzed past several thugs with his God Split Cut activated. Turning to them, Naruto smirked cruelly when blood exploded out of their chests before falling over dead. All around Naruto were dozens of bodies, all with similar injuries. These were Gado's hired help, all of whom Naruto has taken care of while Satsuki went to deal with Zabuza, his accomplice, Gado, and anyone else that got in her way. After Satsuki had read the file Naruto gave her, she had turned scarily calm, Naruto having expected her to get angry or sad learning the truth of her family's massacre. Instead, she just became calm, not reacting to anything that happened around her. Until that little brat had to open his big mouth, thought Naruto with frown. Flashback. Everyone was gathered at the table in Tezuna's house, after taking turns guarding Tezuna and the bridge and his family. Menma and Arashi were talking animatedly with their mother, Sakura was fawning over the former two, Kakashi was reading his smut while somehow eating without removing his mask, and Naruto and Satsuki simply ate silently. Why do you bother? Inari asked, looking at the ninja. Said Kakashi, glancing up from his book. Why do you bother? You can't beat Gado, no one can. You all come here act like you know anything about suffering, but you don't. You all live cushy and comfortable lives in your village, none of you know anything about suffering. So why don't you all just leave before you die? Inari shouted. Suddenly, before anyone could react or say anything, Satsuki suddenly had Inari by his throat, slamming him against the wall. She glared at him with her Mangekyo Sharingan blazing in her eyes. Little brats like you should learn to keep their mouths shut. Genjutsu. Endless nightmare, Satsuki said, casting the genjutsu. Not even a second later, the boy screamed in agony before slumping unconscious. Dropping the boy carelessly, Satsuki turned her glare to Tsunami and Tezuna, freezing them in place. Learn to teach your brat to keep his mouth shut, otherwise I'll do worse than simply trap him in a nightmare world. Satsuki said, vanishing in a flash of lightning before anyone could say anything. End flashback. The genjutsu she had used wasn't anything too dangerous, it just trapped Inari in a nightmare world where he experienced all the pain and suffering Naruto and Satsuki went through in their lives. A sort of downgraded version of Tsukuyomi, where it feels like years in the genjutsu but only a second passes in the real world. But it doesn't leave the victim in a coma, just unresponsive for a few days and probably some lasting mental scarring depending on what Satsuki does to them in the genjutsu. Shaking those thoughts for now, Naruto grabbed two semi-intact bodies and pulled out two sealing tags. Placing the tags on the back of the bodies, next as the Naruto watched, the corpses began transforming before his eyes. In a matter of minutes, gone were the bodies of two of Gado's thugs, and in their place was his own dead body along with Satsuki's. They were completely identical down to their clothing, and the best part was any tests performed on the bodies would come up as matches that they were in fact him and Satsuki. I see you're finished, Satsuki said, walking up to him, dragging Zabuza behind her and carrying his sword. Just finished. He's not dead, stated Naruto upon seeing Zabuza not having a single wound on him. Physically he's alive. Mentally, however, Satsuki trailed off with a shrug, Naruto nodding when he finally noticed the glassy look in Zabuza's eyes. His partner? Naruto asked her. I'm sure I left them in enough pieces to be recognizable, replied Satsuki neutrally. Unlike Naruto, Satsuki didn't find a sadistic pleasure in killing her opponents. The only people she'll enjoy killing are Itachi and everyone else involved with her clan's near extinction. While Satsuki now knew the truth behind why Itachi massacred their clan, that didn't lessen her hatred for him, it only increased, along with now being directed at those who gave the order. Did Satsuki understand why Itachi did it? Yes, she did. If the Uchiha staged a coup that would have led to conflict in all of Konoha that could have potentially started the Fourth Shinobi War. But that didn't mean she didn't think that there could have been a better way. Instead, they killed all of her clan members, including the ones that had nothing to do with the coup, like the children, elderly, and all the others not involved. The only thing Satsuki wanted from Itachi was look him in the eye and know who it was that helped him massacre their clan. Then she'll drive a Chidori through his heart and burn his body and eyes if someone tried to revive him. Nodding, Naruto pulled out another seal, this one a modified explosive seal, and placed it on Zabuza's chest. Satsuki meanwhile slashed at the disguised corpses with Kubikirabucho, make it as if they died at Zabuza's hand. Ready? Naruto asked, Satsuki nodding as she stabbed the Zanbato in the ground. With that, Naruto wrapped an arm around Satsuki's waist and shot up into the sky. While he might not be able to access Six Paths Sage Mode, he still had access to several of its abilities, such as flight. When the two were high enough in the air, they both looked at Gato's compound. Without a word, Naruto made a half-ram seal, detonating the explosive tag he put on Zabuza. The effect was instant as the entire compound and all the bodies were consumed in a massive fiery explosion, consuming everything it came in contact with. That should get their attention, said Naruto, speaking of the Konoha ninja. Let's get going. We have a lot to do, locating the other Jinchuriki, finding the person who summoned the Gedo Mazo, and whoever has the Rinnegan to keep summoning it. Satsuki listed. One problem at a time. How about finding a way to seal the tailed beasts into something until we can locate the statue? Said Naruto, wanting to focus on one thing at a time. Very well. I believe it'd also be prudent to capture the Jinchuriki that aren't well liked in their villages. If they aren't liked, it'll be easier to take them and not worry about repercussions. Satsuki added. Then your best bet would be the Jinchuriki in Suna, Iwa, and Taki. Those villages either only use their Jinchuriki as weapons or don't care about them. It'd be best to avoid the Jinchuriki in Kumo, as they're not only liked, but the Hachibi's Jinchuriki is the Raikage's brother and can access a full-tailed beast transformation. Katsumi said from within the seal. While she was free, she could still freely enter and exit Naruto's mind, having learned the living conditions from eavesdropping on conversations between Kushina and Minato. Even she has Kaguya inside Naruto for company. Even with her pride, she knows that Naruto can become stronger than her and Kaguya combined eventually. Sometimes it was useful. Her previous host was the wife of a Kage. You never know what you'll learn. Grunting in annoyance, Naruto frowned at the last part. He would have loved to go against a fully realized Jinchuriki. However, he knew his limits and wasn't about to go against an opponent that could crush him. It'd be best to go after the Suna and Taki Jinchurikis, since those villages only have one each, while Iwa has two, said Satsuki after a moment. Alright, but first, what about something to keep the tailed beasts sealed in when we extract them? Naruto reminded. While they'd be able to seal Kaide into an object, the Nanabi needed something stronger to hold it, or that the Jinchuriki willingly join us. I may have a solution. Katsumi spoke up. What is it? Naruto thought. The amber purifying pot, it's one of the treasured tools the sage left behind. It's able to record the voice of anyone that responds to the wielder. If you're able to get the Jinchuriki or my siblings to respond to you, you can seal them in the pot until you get the Geto Mazo. Katsumi explained. Great. Where is it? Asked Naruto. Kumo, replied Katsumi while looking off to the side and began whistling innocently. Naruto's face went blank while his eye twitched. Of course it is, Naruto thought. Naruto relayed what Katsumi told him to Satsuki, who cursed silently that one of the possibly best ways to capture the tailed beasts was in the one village they wanted to avoid until they were stronger. How about for now we focus on increasing our own strength, and if we come across a Jinchuriki then we'll capture them and figure out things from there. Naruto suggested. That'd probably be best for now. Agreed Satsuki. While they're both strong, compared to people who are cage level or higher they're still weak. Naruto could only hold his six paths sage mode for a few moments before he had to release it. He still needed to practice more mastering wood style before it was strong enough to restrain a tailed beast, not to mention he's still working on a few jutsu he want to improve on, namely adding his other elements to his Rasenshuriken and chakra chains, and a more powerful version of spiraling ring. Satsuki meanwhile needed more practice with her Mangekyo as while she didn't need to worry about going blind, they still put a strain on her eyes. She could only really use Amaterasu effortlessly being able to summon, extinguish, and manipulate the black flames. But, Susanoo was still difficult to summon fully, so far she's only to summon the basic upper skeleton. If she wanted any hope of facing larger opponents she'd need to work on creating a full-body Susanoo but to also make it move and react faster as a full-body Susanoo is powerful but lacks the speed and once she completes it she can use it without the Mangekyo. She's also working on different for her Chidori, even working on a way to using natural lightning. They both realized they had a lot of work to do. Timeskip 4 days Konoha. Minato looked up when the door to his office opened showing Kushina, Menma, and Arashi. The Hokage noticed that Kushina looked to have been crying recently. Kushina, you're back already. Why are you with Menma and Arashi? Shouldn't they with their own team? And where are your students? Minato asked with a frown, Kushina looking ready to cry again while Menma and Arashi scoffed. The idiot got himself blown up trying to fight Zabuza. Sneered Menma. And he had to drag Satsuki along with him. Arashi said with a scowl that the loser got Satsuki killed. What? Said a quiet a voice getting the four's attention. Looking they saw Narumi standing in the doorway. Naruto ni and saw Satsuki ne, are dead. Narumi said looking at her Ka-san pleadingly that it wasn't true. Unfortunately her other brothers to take hope from her. That's right brat. The loser finally did us all the favor and got himself killed. Arashi said cruelly. Yeah, now we don't have to put up with that waste of space anymore. Added Menma neither of the two caring if they hurt their sister with their words as both boys didn't like their sister for taking away attention that should rightfully be theirs. Narumi felt tears gather in her eyes at every word her mean brother said. Naruto and Satsuki were dead, gone, she'd never be able to see them again. Menma and Arashi continuing to mock Naruto didn't help, as Narumi covered her ears trying to block them out but it was no use, as she couldn't block out what she just heard. Menma and Arashi's taunting of Naruto was suddenly cut off when Narumi let loose a loud piercing scream, while dozens of golden chains shot out of her back. The chains instantly shot out towards a shocked Menma and Arashi, and impaled into their arms, legs, sides, and every other non-lethal area of their bodies, while two chains stabbed both boys right between their legs cutting away what made them both male. Both boys screamed in agony at being impaled by the chains and at the loss of their manhoods, though their screams were cut off when more chains wrapped around their throats strangling them. Meanwhile Minato and Kushina snapped out of their shock seeing their daughter activate her adamantine sealing chains and prepared to stop but soon found themselves restrained by the chains as well, though thankfully not impaling them like with Menma and Arashi. They couldn't escape as their chakra was quickly suppressed and they knew it was hopeless to try breaking the chains that are strong enough to hold the Kyuubi. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Narumi screamed, glaring at them all through tear-filled eyes. This is your fault, Narumi said to her parents. If you had just trained Ni-san, then he wouldn't be gone. But you didn't, you only cared about them, said Narumi venomously towards Menma and Arashi, who both started turning blue from lack of air. All because of some stupid prophecy by some stupid old toad that smokes all the time. Narumi said, remembering Naruto telling her the reason why their parents focused so much on Menma and Arashi. And now he's gone. My brother's gone and it's all your fault. Screamed Narumi, her chains lashing out wildly. Narumi, sweetie, just calm do. Minato started only to be cut off. No, you aren't my parents anymore and they were never my brothers. I only have one brother and a sister, and they're gone because of you. I hate you. Narumi shouted, running out of the office, her chains releasing the Namikaze family. Menma and Arashi hit the ground unconscious from lack of air and blood loss from their injuries. Minato quickly went to check on his sons and get them to the hospital. Kushina meanwhile curled up into herself crying, as not only she lost a son she's neglected, but also her only daughter. And it was all her fault. With Narumi. As she left the office, she went into the forest of death to calm herself down as she was crying to herself. How dare they, her former brothers, not care about Naruto and Satsuki being dead? She asked herself after showing her family what she can actually do. Hey, what is a girl like you doing in this forest at night? Anko asked Narumi. Just trying to cool off. Narumi answered her. Why? Anko asked her. As Narumi explained to Anko about Naruto and Satsuki's deaths and that she disowned her family. Even the physical abuses they did to him just for having the Kyuubi's soul inside him. Her brothers, saying that they were grateful that Naruto died but angry that Satsuki did. This made Anko very angry that she unknowingly changed into her level 2 curse seal mode, which scared Narumi a bit until she saw her scaly hands, and suppressed it until she became normal again. Calm yourself, Anko. Don't give in, she said to herself as she saw Narumi crying that her family would do that, and she knows the Uzumaki creed of family above all as she falls to the ground in sadness. There, Narumi. Anko said, trying to comfort Narumi despite not having experience with children due to being Orochimaru's former apprentice. She picks up Narumi, who fell asleep, and carry her to her home to rest. Next day morning, Narumi woke up on an unfamiliar bed and smelled breakfast that Anko was cooking. Finally, you woke up since you were crying in your sleep, Anko said as she gave Narumi a plate for breakfast as she ate it. Sorry for the trouble and thanks for letting me sleep here, Narumi told her. It's no problem at all, brat, Anko told her as Narumi kept eating. When you finish eating, I'll walk you to the academy, okay? Anko said, which Narumi nodded. Luckily, she had her personal belongings in a storage seal just in case. The academy. Anko drops off Narumi and waved goodbye to her. As she composes herself as she enters the classroom and sits next to Alexis, the granddaughter of Hiruzen Sarutobi, the former third Hokage, as her grandfather has been training her to become the Sarutobi clan head, as her former goal was to become Hokage, but Hiruzen gave her a very brutal speech of what it means to actually be Hokage and even learned that she has scorch style. Hey Narumi. Alexis greets her friend along with Akiza and tea. Oh hey Alexis. Narumi told her. As she looks towards the door, she saw Menma, Arashi and Sakura with Kakashi going to the Hokage's office for another mission. She scoffed until Kushina saw Narumi. Narumi, where were you? We were looking all over for you, Kushina said to her worryingly. I was at a friend's house, she blankly stated, annoyed by her mere presence. Come on Narumi, we're having sushi, you favorite food, Kushina said to her daughter. No, she stared blankly again at Kushina. What? Kushina asked. What part of disowning you guys you didn't understand, because the only ones who I had as a family are dead and I want nothing to do with you ever again, you shitty mother. Narumi shouted at Kushina, whose hair was standing like 9 tails menacingly. How dare you say I am a shitty mother? Kushina yelled until Narumi used her sealing chains on her to suppress her chakra. Of course you are. What kind of mother would hit her child for something he never did while his other brother gets away scot-free? What kind of mother would neglect their other child for a fucking prophecy that was told by a pervert whose fan reads porn in front of children? You are a disgrace to the Uzumaki clan. Don't you remember the creed, Kushina? What was it again? Oh, right. Family above all else. Now Naruto and Satsuki are dead because you never trained them. She told Kushina in anger as she threw Kushina out of the classroom while Aruka and her classmates were looking at her in fear except 3 particular kids while Kushina ran away crying. I think I'm in love. Hanabi said while looking and blushing towards Narumi while Akiza, who was surprised that Hanabi and T stared at her as Alexis was making the give me gesture because he made a bet with T, who lost the bet while Hanabi was fingering herself and using her Byakugan to see under Narumi's clothing with a perverted look. Now I understand why Onisan had a crush on Naruto. Hanabi said to herself as Hanabi had gained a crush on Narumi, but she kept it to herself and not even Hinata knew because they would ostracize her from the clan just for having a crush on a girl as well, with the excuse of maintaining the Hyuga bloodline pure and the elders telling that girls love boys and vice versa. Especially when she remembered the incident when Arashi and Menma insulted Naruto's name again because the new bridge in Wave Country was dubbed the Great Naruto and Satsuki Bridge in honor of the 2 heroes who stopped Gato and his goons as they sacrificed their lives. She finally understood that Hinata was sabotaging her own potential for her so she doesn't get the caged bird seal as she becomes more resentful towards her own clan, not knowing that there were more secrets that not even her and Hinata know about. Hinata had watched Naruto when they were younger, whenever she could. She wished that she could have helped him. She wished she could have watched him without having to worry about the consequences, but she is the heir of the Hyuga and he was the pariah. Her love for Naruto that had started from a small crush on the day when he intervened in a bullying attempt on that snowy day, and it kept on growing as she saw him struggle and lived his life in this harsh world. She felt connected to him, as they were both so similar. She is hated by her own family. It became worse after her mom died, and he was alone even among his own family until he met Satsuki and his sister Narumi. She even began to gain a crush on Satsuki as well, as she was a strong female who never took shit from anybody, unlike her. The family that provided warmth and happiness to others brought her despair. For her sister, she sacrificed her future and sabotaged her potential. The curse of being a Hyuga meant that her sister had to become a slave, but her gentle heart could never allow it. She had promised her mother that she would protect Hanabi, and for that, she sacrificed it all. She held on and kept that secret even when everything beat her down. Her own father cursed her as a worthless and incompetent. Her sister that she loved more than life saw her as an incompetent trash just like the rest of the clan. The sister that would hold her hands and follow her around with her bright eyes, with her lovely voice asking questions, had now turned into one of them. Seeing Naruto fight on and suffer, her love in her despair whispered words that had her question everything. Naruto needs you. Let that little bitch understand where she stands. Show her what you can really do. Show her the cruel reality of the world. A mature voice spoke to Hinata. Why do you need to suffer? Why? Why? For what reason? What have they done to deserve such loyalty from us? The mother that only existed for 4 years, are you going to suffer for eternity? Hinata's darkness spoke to her. They don't deserve it. Go on, take the step and extend your hand towards him. Her darkness said to persuade her light. He will be ours. He has no one. He cannot deny us. Show him the world, show him the way, and he will brighten our world. Her darkness continued. Break through this imaginary cage and ignore others, your desires take priority. Hinata had been tempted, but she chose Hanabi over Naruto and stepped back. With her weak presence, if she had interacted with Naruto, both of them would have been in trouble. Just like that day, when Naruto tried to save her, those children that tried to bully her had their families destroyed for daring affront the noble Hyuga clan. In this world, the powerful rule the world and the Hyuga were one of the ruling clans of Konohagakure. It didn't matter if they were kids or adults, as it was basic knowledge to never mess with the clan children, especially the heir of the clan. The clans protected the village, and in return, they had authority beyond the normal citizens and ninja. Hinata could choose to abandon Hanabi and become the heir she was meant to be and extend her hand to Naruto, but she didn't. Something that she regretted to tell Naruto and her sister. And with the poor standing in the clan, she would have led to Naruto's increase in suffering. Hinata can't live if Naruto and Satsuki aren't alive, but she will honor them because they never want her to kill herself by becoming more confident and assertive woman who can and will kill anyone who slanders Naruto and Satsuki's names, as she became Anko's first student, as Hinata needed to be broken down before rebuilding her from scratch as she began to wear more provocative clothes, her RTN design, that showed she has G-cup chest. Everybody that tried to flirt with her and even Nelly and the clan are scared of the new her, as her heart belongs to only Naruto and Satsuki, and that she made friends with Sakura's cousin Flare, who loves Naruto as well and could feel that he and Satsuki are alive somewhere away from this cesspool of a village. If they only knew. Meanwhile with Naruto, Satsuki and Katsumi. Meanwhile in Kurigakure, Mei Terumi Uzumaki, who is a full Uzumaki but had to hide her clan name after she was adopted into the Terumi clan as a child, leading the rebellion against Yagura Karataki, the fourth Mizukage and the pseudo Jinchuriki of the coral user Sanbi, the three shrimp-tailed crab-turtle hybrid. Ever since the Third War, no one has seen the Sanbi. Mei suddenly sneezed because someone was having the time of his life and heard Ao saying the typical, "In my youth, shit. Ow. Shut up or die," Mei told him sweetly as he screamed like a little girl. Elsewhere with Kaguya. Kaguya, who possessed a shadow clone of Naruto who has Byakugan eyes, was currently watching Naruto, Katsumi and Satsuki pleasure each other while feeling jealous and left out. It reminded her about looking at people who knew about real love from countless habituated planets before the land of that wanted to own her, and Tenji as the weak-minded man he was considered peace more important than the love of a would-have-been family. Kaguya has seen beings from other planets as their own civilizations crumble on their own, as a few were peaceful but also made them easier to be killed and to gain a chakra fruit faster. The more she have seen, the more she felt guilty, mainly due to her Rinne Sharingan recording everything in extreme detail. The only option was to start fresh, that caused her to betray her own clan, but in actually they betrayed her because she questioned them of their goals, methods, and having their powers go over their heads. Even if they gain godhood, what will they do next? Kaguya have always questioned herself every time, as the same answer was to be at the top of the food chain. Kaguya said, repeating Ashiki said during the first times of their harvesting with their 10 tails that she named Dadara before marking a person in the forehead while the victim smiled in pieces. Kaguya flew into Dadara's mouth and ate her as it burrows into the ground. Contrary to popular belief, Kaguya may have been the first Otsutsuki to eat a chakra fruit that actually had time to develop fully and bond with a 10 tails, making her powerful than her disowned sons Hagoromo and Hamura. However, she was a woman that needed love, as most of her direct Otsutsuki family members have willingly left because the clan deemed them too powerful, except for her father Otsutsukateri no Miko, who she hasn't seen for more than 2 millenniums, as he was the former clan head before Ashiki's father beat him and made him exiled her father, never to be seen again. "Mother, are you jealous of those 2 girls?" questioned a black plant wearing an Akatsuki robe who interrupted her thoughts. "Don't be foolish, Zetsu, and don't call me mother," Kaguya said, her usually voice cracking only slightly. However, this mystery figure caught it, as the figure's mother never actually shown this much of emotions before. She thought with a slight nosebleed as she composed herself. "Anything else, mother?" the figure said to Kaguya as she activated her Byakugan at the figure. "Zetsu, if you really want to do something for us, then do what Naruto and Satsuki always done, prove it to us with your actions. That if Satsuki eventually forgives for how you indirectly caused her clan's demise." I know you're not even my son, just my corruption and paranoia in physical form. Kaguya said seriously, as she flew towards Naruto's location. Wait a minute. You're not her son. Shut up, you. I don't know why Madara made me paired with you, you disgrace of a former father. Do you, Tenji? Said Black Zetsu to the white half, being the former lover of Kaguya Otsutsuki, as he goes into the ground to going back to a certain orange masking wearing Uchiha as he exits the scene, while the white half was looking in shame as it was the only white Zetsu to have a soul that was Tenji's, as a reminder of reminding him the consequences of his actions of regarding peace above everything. Meanwhile, as Black Zetsu was traveling through tree roots with his white half, he was thinking about his life choices. Sure, he may have been the mastermind of countless wars in the shadows, but he was doing it to free his creator. He mainly focused on Indra's descendants, as one of them has been the same gender until Satsuki. He did not regret that Ninshu was absurd, as true peace can never be achieved because it can't. Even Black Zetsu knew that life is like business, you have to give something to have something. Whenever he tried to remember about the stone tablet, since he is part of Kaguya, meaning that he is technically a pure-blooded Otsutsuki, to clearly read the text that only a user who has the dojutsu of the Rinne Sharingan line can, and since Hagoromo never turned off his Rinnegan, which made it impossible for anyone of his descendants who doesn't have the Rinnegan to read and decipher it fully. He always had a hazy feeling as if someone suppressed that memory of the event, since he wrote about needing to kill a close one to gain the Mangekyo, despite that Indra gained it naturally. Maybe I could have also told Indra and Asura about Kaguya and would have helped me. The past is in the past. Maybe after helping Naruto and Satsuki free Kaguya physically, I can pass on. But first, I need to redeem myself in front of Naruto and Satsuki for making them suffer, even if it was indirectly. Black Zetsu said to himself while clenching his chest, not noticing gaining a heartbeat, somehow not noticing that his white half made a small smile. As he was feeling calmer all of a sudden, as he made a few detours to Konohagakure and Mountains Graveyard to retrieve something that can help them on the long run with their awoken powers aside from Kaguya. Naruto's mindscape. After making her temporal home inside Naruto's mind, as he gave her control to change the scenery to her old home of the land of the ancestors. While Kaguya appeared in a place that resembled her old bedroom as she was sleeping, as being with Naruto makes her feel safe, while Naruto was looking around and amazed on how he helped Kaguya remodel the place from her memories. As Naruto meditated near a pond until he heard a voice calling him. Listen to my voice, my king. The voice said to Naruto as he turned around, a dark figure with Mangekyo Sharingan eyes that resembles his clan's symbol of the Uzumaki but longer. Who are you? Naruto asked, confused and wary of who it was, and what it was doing in his mindscape, since the only one present is Kaguya and sometimes Satsuki and Katsumi to train in secret, something that he respects. Really, Naruto, you may not know me, but I have always watched you since birth as well. Said the figure, circling Naruto, with the boy only being more confused at what the figure meant. Hagoromo? Naruto asked while the figure face-palmed. Do not compare me with to that pathetic know-it-wall that would listen to a pathetic disgrace of a toad than to his own family and thinks that he knows all when he knew nothing, even when the biggest threat was looking at him right in the eyes. The figure ranted because it also hated Hagoromo as well when it heard about Kaguya's grandsons. What are you talking about? Said Naruto, with the figure sighing in annoyance, before grabbing Naruto by the back of his head and forcing him to look at the water of the pond behind them, at his reflection, with the figure's head right next to Naruto's. Think about it. Hated for something out of your control since birth, despite that sealing Katsumi with the excuse of keeping balance between villages, but did we had a choice? No, we didn't. Look at us. We were hated, despised, ostracized and neglected by our own family because a prophecy is more important than our needs. Those feelings don't go away, so where does it all go? Said the figure, with Naruto looking at their reflections as realization slowly dawned on him. You, Naruto said, while turning his head to the figure, as it let him go. Yes, every dark thought and negative emotions you have suppressed before. I'm all of them given form when Katsumi tried to use me to free herself until Kaguya came into our lives. Or at least, a developing form. For simplicity's sake, call me Naruto. All the negative emotions you were feeling for years, they were too powerful and intense to suppress, but you actually embraced them the moment you had enough, leading to me getting an early wake-up call all those years ago, but I decided to explore until you awoke your emotions sensing ability. Now being able to contact you and speak with you, said Naruto, which was also the reason of establishing a subconscious connection between them. Well, why are you here now, Naruto? And why did you bring me here since I accepted my whole being already? Naruto asked, looking at his dark half warily since Naruto wears his emotions of his sleeves, as it circled around and stood in front of him. Simple Naruto, despite our similarities and how much I despise people having us as the scapegoat instead of taking the responsibility and fix it themselves, and for living in that ungrateful cesspool of hidden village that has caused our clan's demise. However, we are still the same being, and now you've seen the truth, that people, they never cared about you unless they gained something in return. To others, you're either an annoyance, a lost cause, or just something they can use to remember those they care about. They don't really see you for you, and they never cared. Naruto said as it put their hands on his shoulders. But I care, I really care. I've been the one who was always there, even if you didn't know of me managing your emotions as well. I stayed by your side through the pain, loneliness, and hatred during childhood. And I'll always be with you and show everyone what truly happens when you mess with an Uzumaki. Besides, you also have Satsuki, Katsumi, and Kaguya. You even had more friends before, but somehow they don't remember, said Naruto, with Naruto looking at his dark half for a few moments, before pulling it into a hug as it shed tears, stabilizing the connection between them. While Naruto was thinking on the last thing that Naruto said about having more friends before Satsuki. This also affecting Naruto's form, as it began stabilizing and fully forming, the darkness fading to reveal a human body. Though one also very different from Naruto's own. When Naruto pulled back, he was surprised when he saw a girl his age, with pale skin, long white hair that went down to her waist, as well as black and red eyes. The latter feature showing this was indeed Naruto. Why, are you a girl? Naruto asked, having expected his dark half to look identical to him, and while they did have similar features, enough to be considered fraternal twins, he didn't think she'd be a girl, while Naruto shrugged at his question. It was probably a 50-50 chance on how I developed. Since we formed a connection, before I was fully formed, I became female instead. Showing that I'm truly your dark half, the opposite of you in every way. It's likely, if we hadn't formed a connection, I would have developed as a male, being a complete copy of you, minus the eyes, as some form of default form. Naruto explained, before grabbing a strand of her white hair. Though even I'm confused at where the white hair came from, said Naruto, having expected to be black. That'd be due the fact that Naruto gained darker hair due to me. It'd stand to reason that if you're his opposite, you'd take my hair color, said Kaguya, reminding the two of her presence that she woke up, with Naruto and Naruto being surprised and confused at this information. Naruto looked back at Naruto, with his eyes widening in shock and his face burning red, as he realized something else about her. She was completely, while sporting a surprisingly curvy body and E-cup S, showing she was an early bloomer. Not to the same extent as a certain Hyuga that Naruto knew, not that he was aware of this fact. Naruto soon noticed this as well, and how Naruto was unconsciously looking her up and down, making the white-haired girl smirk seductively and saunter up to him. Naruto, please. Even if that's true, I can't right now since we just properly met, and I don't want bad blood between us since I need to sort things out if I have been neglecting you, said Naruto, since even if they weren't completely the same person, his heart wasn't in it right now. Naruto sighed in annoyance but understood his reluctance to keep going as she respects his choice. Alright, Fine. Not now, Naruto said as they stood up, before materializing a black mini kimono with red highlight and a red obi, while Naruto pulled his pants back on. However, Naruto did give Naruto a peck on the cheek and smiled at him. But I meant what I said, I'll always be there for you and will never leave you. And if it comes down to it, we'll leave the elemental nations and find somewhere that will accept us. Naruto said, glad at being able to form a connection with Naruto this early, and her new maternal instincts of wanting to take care of him, as the light needs the darkness to shine bright. This made Naruto smile, as despite the circumstances, he was still glad at having another person that he could trust unconditionally just like Satsuki, Katsumi and Kaguya. Thank you Naruto, Naruto said, while hugging Naruto again, surprising the girl as she blushed at his gesture, before hastily pushing him back and looked away with her arms crossed. Shut up. I only mean that we shouldn't deal with the dumbasses of the elemental nations when we can just leave. Don't overthink it, Naruto shouted, refusing to let Naruto think she was going soft, while Naruto chuckled, seeing through her act, with even Kaguya laughing, finding some entertainment in this new development and actually laughing for the first time in more than a millennia. Maybe leaving the nations after gaining my original body doesn't sound bad since she will spare the ones that don't have too much chakra and leave the planet for another place to stay. Kaguya said to herself. While Naruto looked at a puddle to his reflection of having the Mangekyo Sharingan just like Naruto as he changed his eyes back to normal and realized that his pupils are slits now. They look better than before, Naruto said as the slits made him look like Katsumi in her fox form. Well, I'm going back to sleep. Good night you two, Naruto said as he left his mind as they waved goodbye at him. Are you draining our chakra into pure nature chakra? Naruto asked Kaguya, who nodded. Good, since I want them to be powerful to defend themselves as well. Naruto said. Even Katsumi will start to learn to use her siblings' abilities as well Naruto. Kaguya answered. Don't worry Kaguya. Once we find them and restore your body, we take the chakra from the people and start fresh elsewhere without worrying yourself if you want to Kaguya. Naruto told her. I would love that, but we need to destroy my clan first. Kaguya told her. Don't be scared Kaguya. Once we are strong nothing can't stop us. Naruto assured her as Kaguya smiled. Real world. Naruto, Satsuki and Katsumi were sleeping peacefully until silver energy covered them while they were smiling of the feeling that was filling their chakra network as they felt stronger and calmer, more so Katsumi ever since she is freed but willingly stays with them since they are the first real family she has since her siblings, that she needs to apologize for her arrogance towards them, especially Kaide. Meanwhile in Konoha, as a woman with silver hair and a girl with brown hair were sleeping and murmur about Naruto and Satsuki. Hinata, who is now living with Sakura's cousin Flare after leaving her clan compound and was dreaming about Naruto and Satsuki and she misses them. Ino was still sad that she never told Naruto that she loves him when she realized that when Sakura talked bad about him and Satsuki and says that she is glad that they are both dead. That is when she breaks off her fake rivalry because Ino was infatuated towards Arashi and Menma, but that changed when she used her mind jutsu on Menma and saw the chakra of the 9 tails behind a cage, but something was weird that it didn't have a consistent physical appearance, just chakra shaped like the Kyuubi, that it sensed the fear out of Ino as she quickly left Menma's mind. Then Ino beats Sakura within an inch of her life for insulting Naruto and Satsuki's names that her dad tried to suppress parts of her memories but couldn't due to her heritage from her mother's side had started to manifest. Meanwhile in a hideout, a woman sensed the calming chakra. Naruto-kun, the woman with yellow eyes asked and ordered her most valuable henchman to find Naruto while planning to get help from Suna to invade Konoha. Soon my Naruto-kun, you will be all mine and I will bear your children as well. The woman said to herself while drooling. Unknown place. The Uzumaki god and the Uchiha goddess are alive. The girl said along with a black-haired girl and a white-haired girl with 2 red dots above her eyes with hopeful voices. Meanwhile in Suna, a girl carrying a big gourd was looking at the sky alone while inside her a tanuki made of sand was wary that she felt a familiar presence that she fears but at the same time cries. It can't be them. That's impossible. The tailed beast said. Yo Gaia, are you okay? Another voice said as the girl heard the voice and came inside to rest. Coming. Gaia said as she went inside. Meanwhile in Kusa, a girl with red hair and glasses was kneeling and crying to whoever God was listening to help her and her mom out of their misery. Whoever is listening my prayers please help us. The girl said with tears while holding her sleeping mother. Meanwhile, Zetsu heard the girl's pled. Don't worry, Naruto will help you. Zetsu said as he left. Wave Country. As Naruto woke up inside a cozy tent until they have a more suitable place to stay. It looked big on the inside due to Naruto adding seals to expand the inside. As Naruto left a shadow clone in his place to begin hunting food for breakfast and another shadow clone to start preparing coffee for the girls as he left to find edible food not knowing that a certain entity possessed that shadow clone that the eyes changed into red with black sclera, who was preparing coffee. Finally I'm outside. Thought I need my own body to actually be complete. Naruto said to herself while preparing coffee as Katsumi was the first to wake up. Morning Naruto. Katsumi said thinking it was him until Katsumi sensed the clone's chakra, which was darker than hers like it was Madara and Indra's chakra but worse. Morning Katsumi-chan. Naruto said slowly turning her head towards Katsumi as Naruto's eyes changes into the Mangekyo Sharingan, which made Katsumi in the defensive as they are the same design as Indra's Mangekyo Sharingan before she ate Indra centuries ago. Who the hell are you? Katsumi stated to Naruto until she kissed Katsumi on the lips passionately. At first, she was against it but felt compelled since she was also Naruto as well. Finally, Naruto deactivated her Mangekyo. Really Katsumi, you don't remember on trying to use my king's negative feelings in order to free yourself from the seal before Kaguya freed you. Naruto said to Katsumi who gasped. You're his dark half. Katsumi said with regret that she didn't tell Naruto. Ding, 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 we have a winner. Naruto said to her. That doesn't make sense. How come you're still your own being despite that Naruto accepted his darkness already? Katsumi told her. Remember that Naruto is more powerful than he appears to be Katsumi-chan and that's with his own chakra not Asura's since it disappeared. We may have left the village that we all despise. However, the minute they suspect us being alive they will hunt us down and seal you into someone more subservient or someone that will abuse your power Katsumi. Don't tell Satsuki that he has the Mangekyo until he tells her as they will be equal to her in more ways than one just like Kaguya said. Naruto said as she kissed Katsumi again as she poofed out. Later. Let's see the first place we have to go is Taki. Naruto said to Satsuki and Katsumi while Kaguya stayed inside Naruto's mind. Contrary to the popular belief about Katsumi is that even sealed she still can sense emotions from outside the seal, albeit limited. Especially from Naruto's grandmother Mito Uzumaki, also known as Hashirama Senju, the last transmigrant of Asura Otsutsuki's wife, who nearly succeeded into making peace with Indra Otsutsuki's transmigrant and Satsuki great-grandpa from Makoto's side Madara Uchiha until Tobirama Senju ruined it. While Katsumi was sealed inside Mito she could always hear from the outside when inside the seal as she was roaming while looking through her memories since birth to present and it had its advantages especially from when Mito was helping Tobirama create his most famous jutsus like the Flying Thunder God, Shadow Clones, Bringer of Darkness and the most deadly and powerful of all, Impure World Resurrection. A technique that can revive people who did not die of natural causes, at first, and if you have some DNA of the person you want but need a body as a sacrifice and the best part is that they are immune to genjutsu, except for the subtle mind control ones, have unlimited chakra due to them instantly replenishing it, no need to eat nor drink and can be controllable even if they know the release hand seals. Tobirama and Mito may have created the jutsu but you Naruto-kun can perfect it to bring anyone at full power in their prime and control them whenever you want. Katsumi said to Naruto who actually smiled at Katsumi for showing that she has full trust in him. Moreover, Naruto know on whom to revive. However, that's for later. Asterisk on the road to Taki. As the Naruto, Satsuki and Katsumi traveled to Taki in search of Fubuki's Jinchuriki. I can't believe that Hashirama would do something so stupid and give a tailed beast to the village that wanted him killed. Naruto said in anger. It's like a tradition that every Hokage is worse than the last. The first hunted every tailed beast after Suna captured Kaide, then sold them to the other main villages without asking them first if they wanted to agree. However, it was forced in the name of promoting peace. He was so gullible to give powerful beings and not think about that they would use them against each other. Tobirama holding his grudge towards the Uchiha clan and made sure that they don't have a saying on anything. Hiruzen for letting Danzo lived and other things. Dear Dad for using an Uzumaki exclusive seal, ruining my childhood, neglected me and accepted the slaughter of the Uchiha clan when there was another way. Naruto continued to rant. For years I hated Madara Uchiha for using his eternal Mangekyo Sharingan to control me, but then I realized that it was Tobirama who pushed him to read the stone tablet in the first place. When Indra and Asura's transmigrants nearly made amends until Tobirama had to ruin it because he never left the past. Katsumi said as her hatred is now directed to Tobirama more than ever. Satsuki tripped into something metallic. What the hell? Satsuki asked as she stumbles into a secret hideout. Satsuki, are you alright? You're not hurt, right? Naruto asked in concern as he was checking if she wasn't hurt. While she was blushing. He really does truly love me. Satsuki thought to herself while blushing at his concern for her. What is this place? Katsumi asked while looking at the secret lab as she saw a pod with a person inside. A woman with long blue hair with loops on the tips and pink streaks, and 2 beauty marks under her blue eyes. Wearing a white long-sleeved turtleneck shirt with bishop sleeves and dark shorts with blue stars and a moon, and a planet with a ring around it patterns, blue earrings, and black high-heeled shinobi sandals with 2 blue crescent moons and blue heels. In addition, wearing 2 blue bracelets on both of her wrists and matching rings on her ring finger and her pinky finger, and has pink nail polish on her fingernails and toenails. As they looked around, they saw some files about Project Kara. Project Kara, what is that? Katsumi asked. Let me ask Kaguya if she knows about this. Naruto said as he started to meditate to talk to Kaguya. Mindscape. Yes, Naruto-kun. Kaguya asked him while she was sitting in her throne. Hey Kaguya, do you know anything about Project Kara? Naruto asked her until she was silent and began to hyperventilate. No. It can't be him. I thought I killed him. She shouted. Calm down Kaguya. I thought you said that you killed Ashiki. He asked her worriedly. Listen carefully Naruto to I'm about to say. Kaguya composed herself. Beware of Ashiki Otsutsuki, who was my former partner, as I don't know how he survived since I used my all-killing ash bones to take out his immortality from him, but what it concerns me is that he is still alive somehow and somewhere. Kaguya explained her origins and that Otsutsuki never betray each other. I only betrayed my clan for how childish they are now. Do you know how is it to go from planet to kill people in nature just for a chakra fruit? Even when I had to mark different beings before being eaten by the 10 tails as sacrifice for the clan. That is a tradition that I never wanted to do Naruto, and I know is different from your shadow clones and transformation, but the feeling of taking someone's life and identity leaves you a bad taste every time. That's the reason why I never told those 2 disgrace of former sons. But I had to stop those humans because of them using chakra, and Otsutsuki never share powers to other beings blindly and made white zetsus to fight back with an army Naruto. Kaguya ranted as she calms down. Naruto just looked at her in surprise that she isn't the only one and that there are others more powerful than her. He suddenly hugged Kaguya to calm her down, as whenever he hugged her it soothes her. Don't worry Kaguya, if your clan comes then we make sure to pummel them to kingdom come if they don't listen to reason. Remember that you aren't alone now Kaguya-chan. Naruto told her, as she was shocked to him saying that to her even with blood in her hands and learning his origins he demonstrated her what a true Otsutsuki should actually be, loyal to their true family. Thank you, Naruto-kun, Kaguya said as she kissed him as their tongues wrestled each other for dominance as Naruto was winning due to having practice. She kicks Naruto out of the mindscape. When I have my physical body, I will make Naruto defile me, violate me mercilessly, and shoot your seed all over me like a whore. Kaguya said while masturbating and eating a toy carrot like it was Naruto's. Secret lab. As Naruto woke up as Satsuki and Katsumi were worried of him. You took your time to talk to Kaguya, did you? Satsuki asked. We have to be careful with that woman since I sensed them that she is dangerous. Naruto told them as the capsule's opening revealing the woman known as Ada despite being sadistic person that can kill anyone he wants, but even he has his limits and this woman is way out of his league even if he gained access to 6 paths mode longer than before, so for now he will persuade her. As Ada was going to attack but Naruto stopped. What are you doing in here? Ada said at Naruto while trying to use her charms on them and doesn't work at all, meaning that they are Otsutsuki like a shiki but they look too human. We mean no harm to you since we stumbled here on accident while we heading to a near village. He explained to Ada. Then Naruto created truth-seeking orbs to show that if she messes with them then she will turn into ashes as Ada understood and nodded as he reprogrammed her with help of Katsumi so that Ada be loyal to Naruto and his cause. Well, it's better than being with Naruto than with a shiki. I hope that my brother demon is alright. Ada said in concern referring to her younger brother that Amato separated from her. Just help me save my brother demon. Ada said while Naruto can kill her now but he reprogrammed to be loyal to him and she looks like she can beat a high-rank Otsutsuki in taijutsu like Kaguya told him since most Otsutsuki don't train at all since they take the life of others through the 10 tails. Unlike a certain war hawk, Naruto knows potential when he sees it and would not suppress their emotions since without emotions, there is no free will and consciousness. Okay, I will spare you but knows this. If you betray us you will not live longer. Naruto said as he coated his right arm with lightning chakra and it made bird chirping sounds meaning that it was the Chidori Reikiri, an assassination technique that Satsuki taught him when he taught her his god split cut. As they all left the lab, heading towards Taki as Satsuki used genjutsu on a Taki nin to guide them to the village. Meanwhile in Konohagakure, after Narumi dealt with Kushina she explained Anko that she left her former family and Anko decided that she will live with her because she sees potential in Narumi that reminded her of herself before gaining the curse mark. She now has an admirer by the name of Alexis, who was hiding inside a square box as it was a rock, which failed. You can come out, Alexis. She blankly stated. That is not me, Narumi. She said as she, Akiza and T appeared. If you are here, that who is inside the box? Narumi said as the person inside the box escaped swiftly. A ninja has to be agile, vigilant and never show your full skills. She told them just like her brother Naruto told her. Narumi sensed the 3 kids' chakra and saw their elementals' affinities, but what surprised her the most is that Alexis has wind and fire, Akiza had water and earth and T has water and wind. However, what amazed her the most, their affinities are balanced with each other, meaning that they combined it to make scorch, wood and ice style respectively. While Hanabi, who escaped, was blushing and scared of that they will not be her friends anymore due to liking Narumi. Better go to the compound to train harder to impress Narumi then. Hanabi said in sadness if her father finds about her crush or worse the elders will disown her. Meanwhile with Naruto, seeing a village near a huge tree with a waterfall around it was magnificent, but it will be short-lived, as they need to find the Jinchuriki of Fubuki, the happy-go-lucky 7-tailed beast. This is Takigakure, also known as the village hidden behind a waterfall and the only village to have never be invaded. Katsumi said in her human form while everyone looked at the calmed hidden village. As they are walking towards Taki, they hear screaming and they see a green-haired girl that was being attacked by 5 people who what appeared to be Chunin. Naruto, she is the Jinchuriki of the 7 tails Fubuki. Katsumi explained. I guess we're helping then. Let's get this over with. Naruto shunpo down behind one the men and cuts his throat open, killing him instantly. He grabs 2 kunai and cuts down 2 more but was noticed by one of the chunin attacking the poor girl. What the hell did you do to them? You're helping the demon whore, and for what? Now you have to die. The man said as he readied a kunai. The only one dying here is you. Naruto narrows his eyes upon hearing him call her a whore. The 2 men rush at Naruto as he blocks one man's kunai while knocking the other out of the other guy's hands. Naruto grabs onto his wrists, snaps it, breaking it, and embeds a kunai in the man's skull. The other man remains stupefied as he saw his friend get a kunai to his skull. Making use of moment hesitance, Naruto stabs a kunai in the man's gut and snaps his neck, killing him. Naruto looked over at the shocked girl and asks a simple question, not wanting to alert the girl that he knows she is the Jinchuriki for of the 7 tails. What was that about? Naruto asked, feigning ignorance. Mountain's graveyard. Black Zetsu, who was alone, was looking for something or someone important for his mother's plan for freedom. Where is it now? I know that it's in here somewhere. Black Zetsu said, as he went to a particular room and found what he needed. Perfect, it's still here. Black Zetsu said as he took out a storage scroll to seal what he was looking for as he left the location. Kaguya and Naruto will be pleased for what I will bring them. Black Zetsu said to himself as he refers Naruto as father since his mother Kaguya has taken an interest to him.